Alright, so good day. So basically, as of the moment, we're going to dwell more into class and objects. So basically, a class is a user-defined blueprint or prototype from which an objects are created. It also represents the sets of properties or methods, and then properties or methods objects are created. And then afterwards, these are also common to all the objects of one type. Then using a classes, you can create multiple objects that has properties and methods as well with the same behavior instead of writing their code multiple times. So in general, a class declarations in C++ can include the following. So we're going to talk soon about access specifier, class name, and the body. So basically for that one, a class can have a member defined as public, private, or protected. So for this one, the protected one, we're going to talk that soon with what we call here as example. Alright, and then on that one, we have here to declare a string. So string defines what should be in the class. So the string here is the method to define our data type. And then under that method, we have here the brand, and then there is a void regarding the brand. Next one is we want to print it out. Hold on. Alright, next one is that we have here the cout, because we want to display whatever is the equivalent of brand. According here, the equivalent of brand should be equals to this one, is driving. Then we want to insert an end line so that it will proceed to another line. And then the starting point here is started with int main, and then we have here a car. You can see the class convention here. It's written as small m, small y, capital O, small b, and small j. So this is how he was able to name that particular class. So again here, the data type is the car. The variable under the data type is the my object. Alright, so that my object is equivalent to its brand, which is named Tesla. So if we're going to run this code, did you type this code? Wala.
Malapit na po, sir.
Alright, got it. So you can see exactly what will be the output. Actually, for that one, the output is Tesla is driving. So if we can see on this slide that he wants to print out the word is driving. However, the brand of the car is Tesla. In this slides, in this part, the my object assign the brand, which is named Tesla. But let me see the outcome after you compile or run the program.
Mm. Yep. Okay, there we go.
You're done na regarding that
Uh,
one.
yep.
Alright, 1 minute. You're sharing your screen, and then let me just get. Yes, Tesla is driving, right? The one that I said earlier. Because what's stated here is that for the see out, he wants the brand name of the car to display, and the word is driving. So the brand name regarding that my object is Tesla. So Tesla is driving. So we're right with that one. Okay. Hold on. Thank you for that information. Let me go ahead and try to share my screen. Let's try to continue. Alright, so basically here, as the main component, hold on, main of OO or built-in user, built-in codes from C++, and then he cited another class, and then a student, and then he cited here that the student should be public. Then he put the string and the name of the string. He assigned here a data type, and the variable here is the age. So everything here should be displayed. It should return a value, and that value should display whatever it is displayed by the name. And what is that name? So according to the program here, we have to create an object. So that student is S1, and then that S1 is equivalent to hello Paul. So if we're going to display this one, we're going to call the function. So that will display supposedly this value. Alright, can you try this code for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Po, sir.
You're presenting it. Let me try to see. Can I show the codes? Do you still see my annotation? The one that I write earlier
Tapos,
when you're trying to present the codes.
po, sir. What?
Alright, got it. Thank you for that one. Let me go ahead and try to move on to my other presentation. One moment. It's good. So in this specific string or the class here, so it calls the name whatever is assigned into this s1 dot name. That's for the string 1 that name. It will display whatever should be displayed because there is a call function here under s1, and that s1 or the string 1 should display. And that s1 here is hello Paul. This will also be the same to this coding wherein we're going to display whatever is on that name, and that name is equivalent to hello Paul. Next one, let's move on to another topic. Alright, for this one, class definitions, he's using here G data member, int val, then there's designations for the functions. For this one, it should display the value. Can you try this for me?
Which one? Okay. Sige, sir.
But technically for this one, it will display the word value of and whatever is the value.
Ano nga po pala yun, yung gamit po ng Void. Sir. Sir, nagra-run naman po yung code pero wala naman pong lumalabas. Ganun po talaga.
One moment. One moment.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let me see it. One moment. Can you share your screen? Are you done na? Hold on. Can you share your screen? Can you run? Can you run? Yes, the reasons for that one is, can you close that one? Alright, the reason for that one is as, hold on now. Let me see my annotation here. Hold on. It's okay, it's okay. Don't do something. Can you see? Can you see the ink ball? Right? Can you see what I'm drawing on the ink ball? Alright, for the specific ink ball, there is no value, right? That's why when you're going to display it, it will says here the value is, however there's no value that was assigned here. Next one is going to, yes, all good. Let me go ahead and try to present my screen. Alright, we're moving on with another topic here, C++ and object. When a class is defined, the one that we're able to do in the previous coding, there is an object. However, for the last code that we've done, we're not able to define the definition. That's why it's void or blank, but it runs, right? So when a class is defined, only the specifications, attributes, and behavior for the object is defined. In our example earlier, we have the dog, and basically what's within the dog, the properties of the dog. So the dog has a name, and the name of the dog is Tommy. So that's how we are able to call an object. We're given a specific, we need to be more specific in calling the attributes and the behavior for the object. So same thing goes, so we have the same properties, and then we have the same methodologies earlier with the objects in with the class. However, the only difference is the class is more akin or related to general calling, while for the object it's more specific. So for this one, says here that there's no memory allocated to define a class definitions, and to use the data and access the functions defined in the class, we need to create an object. So the reasons why earlier there's nothing to do is because there's no object. So objects actually are entities that are created on an instance of a class. So there should be a class and there should be an object. There can be as many objects on a class as desired. So it depends. Now, for example, we have dog, and that dog names Tommy. Other dog names Ashley. So it depends. So on how are we going to create those objects as part of our class. Next one is, for example, here we have the car as an example of the class. and then we're going to convert it into an object. So to create an object, once a class is defined, we can create its object in the same way as we declare the variables of any other inbuilt data type. So an object is created by declaring it with class name followed by an object name. So the class name here and the object name. So for example, hold on. For example is class name versus an object name. For example, dog name. The other way around is dog Tommy. So basically, class is class names pertaining to this one, the dog name, and the object name pertaining to dog Tommy. Next one, member access. So these are the member of the class that can be accessed inside the class itself simply by putting their assigned name. And then to access them, we're going to put that operator for that specific objects of the class. Class members are also accessed through the objects using object that the member or variables such as object that member open and close parentheses for functions. Let's go ahead and try to take an overview about local class and nested class. So if we're going to focus on the nested one, these are basically define a class. Hold on. A class is included into another class. So that's basically a nested class. It is enclosed or enclosed with another class. As the member of that enclosed class it has the same access to any other member. The members of the enclosing class do not have special access to the member of the nested class and the standard access rule. However, for the local class, these are generally declared with the global scope and are accessible to every functions or any other classes once they are defined. It also provides the facility to define a class within the function, or we call this one as the local class. For this one, there is a designation that this is only for this specific class. It's not included in another class. So let's take an example here. Int hashtag include iostream using namespace. These are the predefined or the built-in from our library, and then the class here should name outer. Alright, he set it into public, not private, but the public one. Anyone can access this nested class, which is inside the outer class. And then it should display here. Hold on. It should display here the word. This is the inner class, and then we're going to close the line or to proceed to another line. And then here for this part, it should display the word this is the outer, and then it should end the line, and then it will be created another outer class, and this will display the this is the outer class. That will be the inner class, and this will display as the outer class. So it's kind of sort of confusing. Can you try this for me? Alright. I want you to disregard the following I want you to disregard those dots. It's nothing to do. You're done? Not yet. Thank you. for sharing your screen. Let me check here. Can I see the results? This is the other. Yeah, got it. Can you close that one? Can you scroll up? Alright, that's good. That's pretty good. Thank you for sharing your screen. Let me go ahead and try to um, it's okay to use that one. That will work actually. Alright, let me go ahead and try to see the other resources here. Alright, so okay. This is enum class. Enum classes in C++ are safer and more organized ways of using enums. They help to group related constants together while avoiding naming problems and ensuring better type safety. So basically, an enums or enumerated types are user-defined data types in C++ that allow the programmer to define a set of name values. So these values are fixed and predetermined at the time of declarations. However, traditional or old enums have some limitations, which can be addressed by the introductions of enum classes. So basically, there are differences between the enum and the enum classes. Enum classes are much more old as compared to the enum classes. So predecessor here is the enum, and then it just followed by the enum classes. So an enum classes will provide stronger type safety than traditional enums. Here are the reasons as to what are the limitations of enum type and why do we need an enum class to cover them. So basically, an enum is also a collection of name integer. Constant means it's which element is assigned by an integer value. So here's an example for that one. Alright, let me just click here. So these are predefined. The hashtag include iostream using namespace. The word enum here will dictate the roll number, and then based on that one, he enumerated names here, and those names has an assigned value. The word here enum is used to enumerate. So okay, then after that one, the program starts here on int main, and then the enum should have a roll number, and he is trying to call an object, and that object is this name, which is this one. And then he wants to know, or who wants to display the number of Avinash, and that number is 68. Hold on. Okay, who wants to know the roll number of Avinash is the same as this one. The 68 comes from the value of Avinash. So okay, so he wants to enumerate the roll number object, and that object that he assigned is for Avinash. Based on the declaration here, Avinash is equivalent to 68. The reasons why it displays the specific object name Avinash number. Alright, so the specific name of Avinash number is 68. So that's the reasons why the output is something like this. next one. Alright, for this one, we have here the predefined starting program, the if main. He uses enum here and enum. For this one, he specify two gender primarily. So the gender one, you can use it. You can use it here, gender one, but you were able to just use gender, alright, instead of gender one. But that's what he like. So you can specify gender one as either a male or a female. He specified gender 2 as either a male or a female. So he wants to enumerate two genders that can have or either have a male or female based on the grouping. Then he created here the variable type gender. So the data type here is gender. This is the variable, and the variable name is male. And then he designate another one. This is the data type. This is the variable. The variable name is female. Okay, hold on. So for this one, so he has the data type there as male and colon, and then you want number 8, then we close the program. So that's how are we going to initialize it. However, when we're trying to declare it, I'm going to declare it as enum number. Then possibly I want to specify this one as 1, 2, 3, 10. 8, 9, 10. So that's another example. To declare it, I can simply use here enum class and then the variable name, which is number, and then the value, just like an array, right? But for this one, an array without a size. So basically an array has a variable name and elements. So just like in an array here, we're just missing the size. So if we're going to give the size here, so if this is 10 items, that will be 10. However, for this enum class, there's still a variable, and these elements are the equivalent value of that specific variable. So to initialize it, so we just need to cancel this one, enum class. We just need to copy number, it's the variable name, copy it again here, and then we're going to designate it as a small letter. The first 3 letters would work. Then afterwards, which value of these numbers are we going to assign? So we're going to assign 8. That will become 8. Alright, next one is, let's try and go on, move to another one. Here is a C++ program to demonstrate working up enumeration classes or enum class. So the starting point here normally is enumerate enum class as color or color 1, color 2, and people. Alright, and then after that one, he wants to enumerate the color as red, green, and blue. For the color 2, he wants to enumerate it as red, black, and white. And for the color 3, for the third enumerations item, he wants to enumerate it as good or bad. An enum value can now be used to create. So based on this declaration or the assignment, the declaration here this specific enum declaration, we're able to get initialized by this one. Alright, so next one says here that if people or letter P should be equals to the people, that should be display the word bad people, else it will display good people. So says here that it will give an error if letter X, which is green, is equals to people. So green is equals to good people. Alright, so says here that it should display red is equals to good. It won't work as there is no implicit conversions to integer. So this will return an error. So it's quite confusing, right? So that's basically will create an output for it's not red, good people, and then 1. Next one. Enumerated types declared the enum class also have more controls over their underlying types. It may be an integral data type such as char or character. It will display letters, short or unsigned integer or int, or the numbers, which essentially serves to determine the size of type. This is specified by a column. Column is this one. We know columns already. Sorry. And underlying type following the enumerated type. So that column is also this one. Alright. So for this example, we have here, we have to use the word enum, then the class, and then the variable name iColor. So here the iColors can also spelled as, it's up to us, something like but or something like this one. Okay, so for this specific examples, we try to use the word enum. So not enum class, but this is an enum. This is an old version of an enum class. So we were able to use rainbow as the variable name, and the value of that name are as follows. However, you can also write this code as this one. Hold on. Violet, indigo, blue,